I'm Scott Russell, and on today's episode of Love Augusta, we're sitting down with Brad Usry with the Fat Man's Group. We're here with Augusta legend Brad Usry with Fat Man's Forest today, and we're going to talk about some Christmas memories from the past at Fat Man's Forest.
Awesome.
To begin with, where did the name Fat Man's come from?
You know, my dad was a big guy, and he got the nickname Fat Man's. So he just decided to name everything it started with Fat Man.
The name just stuck.
Originally, we started with a grocery store called Fat Man's Corner. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it was on a corner.
Right.
And so we morphed into many other things from there, which we'll discuss. But grocery store is our foundation, and then food service was next, and then we got into the Christmas business.
And that's what we're kind of talking about today is the Christmas store that y'all set up. What made him want to get started selling Christmas stuff?
Well, it all started with a New York salesman running through town, and he was a guy that was very persuasive, and his name was Frank Hockley, and he said, Fat Man, you've got to sell Christmas decorations. And so my dad bought a little shed down the street, put Christmas trees out front, and it became Fat Man's Forest.
So it all started out from a shed.
Yeah, just a shed
with a couple of trees.
Toys and decorations, and you know, a pretty good many trees. I think a lot of people who might be listening to this today have probably seen the pictures of some of the original forests.
I actually just saw one on Facebook the other day, and it was really cool.
Well, it was a neat spot. So that original building stayed there, and my dad and mom just built around it. And we ended up with, I think it was 42,000 square feet.
Oh. I remember it being huge, but I don't remember it being 42,000 square feet.
We had 24,000 square feet in warehouse alone just for merchandise coming in for Christmas.
Wow, just for Christmas.
Yeah.
So it was a huge, huge operation.
Yeah, when we closed it, yes it was. And I like to tell people, we ordered for the Christmas the following year in January. Mm-hmm. So when people were just celebrating the New Year after Christmas, we were in Atlanta for 2 weeks ordering Christmas for the next year.
Wow.
And about June, tractor trailer rigs would start rolling in.
So y'all just prepped all year for Christmas.
Yes, and Christmas was our time, and it was our Christmas.
Yeah.
So we did about 75% of our business during the Christmas season.
Wow. Yeah. That's impressive.
Yes.
That is a lot. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, we put in a lot of hours from Labor Day to the first of the year.
Yeah. So on a recent Facebook post, there were a bunch of really cool comments of people talking about memories from the past, and I was thinking it would be pretty cool to have you read some of those comments and kind of see what you think about them.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Oh, I did love Fat Man's Forest. Halloween and Christmas were just magical to a little kid. After Steve and I started seeing each other, we bought lots of my Coca-Cola Christmas Village buildings there. I miss that sweet store.
Wow. Let's start with Halloween. Let's go chronological. So Halloween, I think people always remembered, we actually had kids that came as a baby. So when they came in the front door, the Halloween was to the right. They would get so scared as a kid that some kids would not even go to the right.
Yeah.
They always said, well, I want to go to the Christmas section.
Make it straight.
But part of the Halloween deal was we had a little bitty spook house that opened October 1st, and it was kind of your right in Augusta to know you were a big guy that you could get through that spook house. So that's one thing. Another thing is the smell of the boiled peanuts.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. My favorite. I definitely was scared to go to the spook house, but I ate my back out with some boiled peanuts, and that was probably the first place I ever had a boiled peanut.
Well, folks, again, I'll get into numbers. That's kind of my game, but I think we sold like 5 tons of boiled peanuts every year. And my brother-in-law, Paul Stunts, he'd just get there early in the morning and start boiling peanuts, and the boiled peanuts, the spook house, and of course the train. Mm-hmm. The train was outside, and so we kind of lured the kids past the spook house just to get them to the train, and that was in the pumpkin patch. And I think when you're small, I can't imagine how massive it looked.
It was huge.
We had thousands of pumpkins.
It was huge.
And then so in the Christmas part, you know, when we started in the 60s, my mom and dad, and I was just a little low tot, but you know, we started theming Christmas. So we'd have anywhere from 40 to 50 different themed trees. We started that. We had a Coca-Cola tree, I think that was mentioned. We had a dog and cat tree. We had a red, white, and blue tree. So we had angel trees. So it was just all the themes. And the big thing that Fat Man's had, I think, that set us apart from still anything here today, is our animation.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a Disney World, so that we always had moving Santas, blow-up snowmen. We even had blow-up scarecrows for Halloween. But I mean, so all the animation inside the displays was very impressive to a young kid.
It definitely, walking through there was quite magical, like she said.
And people always tell me, and this time of year we hear it all the time, is I just love the smell of Fat Man's. So it's, I don't know what that smell was because I was there every day too long. So, but undoubtedly it had
it was a very memorable smell, for sure.
Yeah, Fat Man's was a lot of fun, and you know, a lot of fun for a lot of generations. And you know, my mom and dad started it, and they went through probably 2 or 3 generations where the people they started, they were taking care of the grandkids of the grandkids.
Yeah.
And so I saw a couple of generations go through there myself. So for us, that was the exciting part. It's just getting to know your customers. And that's the part I miss.
Seeing them year after year with their kids, and I mean, to see that many generations coming through one store, y'all were definitely doing something right.
You know, we definitely were a destination. We were not in the best prime retail location in Augusta, that's for sure. But yeah, so it was a fun place, very unique, never could be duplicated. When we sold the property, we looked to try to duplicate it, and we just figured out we couldn't.
You just can't do it. Yeah.
So, and I'm sorry. That's one thing I regret is my grandchildren will never know what their parents grew up with.
Right.
So, but you know, it's all right. We can still talk about it like we are today.
Exactly. There's still all those great memories that
absolutely.
you can share with them.
Absolutely. So anyway, it just makes me reminisce when we talk like this, or when my customers come into the restaurant and say, "God, Miss Fat Man's, you need to open it back up." I said, "No chance."
Yeah.
But I have the same memories. So.
Yeah. After you closed down Fat Man's, it seems like it just went crazy for you and your family with the restaurants and the catering. How much has that progressed over how long has it been since you started?
Wow, I mean, we had the restaurant since the 50s. So, you know, when we closed the business, when we sold the property, I was too young to retire. And so I figured I need to find something to do. And the only thing I really felt comfortable and could get my arms around, because I had run the restaurant, is I'm going to move the restaurant and I'm going to grow it. Okay, so we moved. We came down here to Enterprise Mill. We already had the wedding and event venue.
Right.
And so we just started growing the catering a little bit and had our same hours, just lunch Monday through Friday. And then I was blessed that my oldest son, Howard, had played soccer at Clemson for 4 years, was trying to play professionally, got hurt, had to come home, and he decided to join the family business, and that was a godsend for me.
Yeah.
So he jumped in there, and since then it's been no holds barred. We've grown, and because of community support, nothing we're doing magical. You know, we just try to provide good food and quality service. But you know, we started a concept that we kind of live healthy, and so we had a concept to open a salad place. So we grew on Broad Street by opening Southern Salad, and that's done great. And then, you know, we saw a little diner in North Augusta, Sno-Cap Drive-In, and we said, gosh, that just fits into our family, right?
Yeah.
You know, family tradition, you know, neighborhood loves it.
I was going to say, everybody loves the
So
Sno-Cap.
we approached the owners and said, you know, would you be willing to sell? And they said yes. And, you know, I think the next week we own the Sno-Cap.
Wow.
And so I give a lot of credit to Howard on that. And, you know, we haven't looked back since, and we're still looking to grow. And it's been fun. It's been a fun ride. We've got an amazing staff. And so it's not just us.
Everybody's always in a good mood. The food is amazing, and the Sno-Cap, I feel like, is one of those places that it's kind of like everybody has to go to the Sno-Cap to get one of those amazing burgers and a milkshake, and all the nostalgia that's there. The way y'all redecorated it inside, like old-fashioned, it just looks amazing in there.
That's all it needed was a little love. And again, great staff and great community support. I mean, we know where our bread is buttered, and it comes from this community, and it means a heck of a lot to us. And I tell you, I go back to COVID when Havard and I sat on the tailgate of my truck in the parking lot, and we said, you know what, if we can't turn this thing around in 4 weeks, we could be broke.
Wow.
We had 3 restaurants, and we literally talked like that. We said, we're going to do one thing. We're getting a little PPP money. We said, we're going to give bonuses to our employees every Friday, and they're not going to miss a paycheck. All our restaurants. And we started donating luncheon. We started donating lunches to the hospitals, to the workers, because they were working so long. Because we had the food, and we got word out that we were doing it. So then people were calling us, we want to order lunches. So we were getting orders, 200 lunches from one company, 500 orders from another company, 1,000 orders from Augusta University to deliver boxed lunches.
That's a lot of food.
And so our business was growing during COVID, and Havard stood on that same truck every Friday afternoon. We were keeping us a safe distance with all employees. We brought all 3 restaurants down every Friday, and he stood on that truck and handing out bonus checks to every single employee every Friday during COVID. And I'll never forget that moment in time. And we're so proud of that, but it's all because of community support and the guys that stood behind us. Instead of running scared during COVID, they showed up at work every day. And that's what Fat Man's is about. It's not about me and Havard. It's about the community, it's about the team that works here, and that's what's cool.
And that's what we're all about, it's keeping it local.
Yes, sir.
And so we've talked about where you're at now. What do you see in the future for Fat Man's as a company?
Well, we just hope to keep growing. We do have something in the hopper right now, and I think it's out in the public. We're trying to build a new event venue in North Augusta and Hammond's Ferry.
Okay.
And we're just waiting for the right timing right now. To take COVID through us for a little bit of a loop there.
Right.
But so we're
still bouncing back.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. So we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to hear all these amazing stories. I have such fond memories of Fat Man's, and it's really cool to hear these stories, but it's also an honor to interview somebody that has done so much for the local community, and I really appreciate it.
You're kind, but anyway, we appreciate it. And, just people in Augusta, shop Augusta, support Augusta. It means a lot to people who own small businesses.
We had so much fun filming this video. Brad has one more thing to say.
You know what's important? Like, comment, and more importantly, subscribe to Love Augusta.
Yeah.